That is the sound of my delicious pink lemonade. I'm hanging in the studio right now, sipping on this delicious beverage, waiting for my friends to come over. They should be here in about an hour. And we're going to gorge on chili and talk video games today. Yes, all kinds of areas surrounding the realm. I mean, I don't even really know exactly what's going to be said yet. I have my little, aspects to throw into the conversation, but we all have our own personal experiences with this realm, and I'm looking forward to hearing some of the stories. And, the kind of games that they like versus maybe the kind of games they don't like. The evolution of the video game. It's amazing to see where it started and where we're at now. It's amazing. So, what's this? Is it something important? No, it's not. Don't have to worry about that. It wasn't a very exciting email. I don't get exciting emails. Anyway, so we'll be back shortly, and we'll let the conversation begin. And we are back on the show. This is the Lilypad podcast, and as I said earlier, I have some friends with me right now. I'm going to do ladies first. Bridget, you're all the way over there. How you doing? Thanks for coming by.
Doing good.
Yeah. She's got her beer. And what's the beer you're drinking over there?
Presidente.
Yes, it's a beer in lieu of our upcoming vacation next year that we're not going to talk about today.
No. But they have this beer there, so I want to try it ahead of time.
She wants to get her drink on before we go. We also have Phil. You've never actually been to my house before. This is your very first time here.
It is.
And you can hear the cat. She sounds excited.
Are you killing your cat?
My mother's probably killing her.
Oh, geez,
what do you think the chili's made of?
It's the funniest thing.
Right during the show.
What do you think the chili's made of?
She does it all the time. Like when she's really beckoning out, it sounds like she's in pain. But so welcome, Phil.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Phil bought, some really cool beer that's got glow in the dark skulls on it. I'm gonna
supposed
drink one. And it's an all black can, so that makes it really a lot cooler than. And
I won't crush this one.
Yeah, don't crush it. I'm saving all. And then we also have Mark, a.k.a. Gams. This is your second time here. Well, actually...
A couple of times, I think.
Yeah.
First time to come down and
chill.
Work with you.
Yeah, so this is actually really exciting. So thank you for leaving your house today. I appreciate everybody taking time out of their day. So the topic we have all kind of come together is video games. And the realm itself is gigantic. There's just so many areas you could touch upon as far as discussions, but because we've kind of, four of us, I apologize, we've kind of grown up with video games, like kind of right from the birth of them. I remember my first game was Pong. Phil, what was your first video game? Do you remember? Was it
probably Mario Brothers.
Mario
on
Brothers,
the NES. Yeah.
What about you guys?
Pong at the bowling alley down in Lawrence, Mass.
Nice. Bridget, do you remember?
ColecoVision. It was a Smurf.
Yes.
Smurfs. My God.
Yeah, 1985, I believe,
Yeah.
was the year.
Gotta love it.
And I mean, I did a lot of I did some, reading up obviously on the topic, and I was in with the whole game of Pong. There was something in 1958 by a physicist. He created they considered it the first video game, but it really resembled Pong that came out in the 70s. But I remember that being my very first black and white, just one knob, you just turn it up and down. That was it. It was basically tennis, kind of, right? Yeah. And up until now, we have things like interactive games, virtual reality, things like that. Now,
That's crazy.
I just tried virtual reality about 2 weeks ago for the first time, real, at the Microsoft store.
At the
Put on
Microsoft
the
store.
glasses, see the hallucinations in front of you.
It was insane.
But did you do the HoloLens or did you do the actual full-on VR?
I think
With
it was a
the little
full-on,
joysticks
the
and
big
stuff?
heavy, and I had these things in my hands that were actually going to be lifesavers. So people walking by the store, because they have you face the mall where people are walking, they're seeing me, move my arms all over the place.
Spazzing out.
And I'm trying not to fall over. And I was only doing the tutorial. I'm like, all right, I'm done. It was really
There's this
cool.
company called Mindtrek. Well, the company's called Zero Latency. They started in...
That's my beer, everybody. I never drink, but I'm going to have one today.
They started in Australia. But what they do is it's so there's one in Woburn and there's one in Marlborough, and so they have a full warehouse, and you go in and they put a PlayStation on your back, in a backpack,
jeez.
and you have a full headset and gun.
Oh, so it's you just go?
Well, yeah. So and so everything is mapped in the virtual world. So the entire warehouse. They have pillars that are mapped out in the virtual world. So if you see a wall or a pillar, that's going to be in real life, so don't run into it. But the whole thing is they had zombies, and so you also it measures how high you are and or so how tall you are, not how high.
We understood what you meant.
Yeah, you know what I meant. But anyway, so I actually played that a couple weeks ago, and it was just so disorienting. It was I was in Tron. It was
That's
nuts.
what I felt like. I actually said that.
Yeah.
I stood there and said I felt like I was in Tron.
Yeah, but we had to go through this world and fight zombies, and things are attacking. There's this one girl who was screaming the whole time, and this guy was be quiet, you're killing everyone's ears.
Oh wait, this was another person next to you doing it?
Yeah.
Oh,
So there's
geez.
8 of us in this room walking around this warehouse in this virtual world, seeing each other, and we're
Why
playing.
ain't you friendly frag?
Well, that's the thing is that's the next
See, no,
step. They said.
what's
is
that
the
mean? I
Player
don't even know.
versus player.
Shoot your own team.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I know I wanted to. Just get the kneecap. We'll come back for you.
It's just
Sorry, none
merely
of
a
us are
flesh
healers.
wound.
Yeah. Zombie bait.
Now, have you ever tried anything like that, Bridge? Or
I have not.
no? Are you now? I'm not. So I was also looking up what they consider a gamer versus what they don't call a gamer, and I would be a non-gamer. I'm somebody who's played video games, but I'm not, elbow deep into this whole gaming thing. But I know some people are. Do you play video games a lot, Phil?
I used to. But then, having a kid kind of changes things a little bit.
Yes, well,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Then they go to bed.
right.
Then you can do it.
No, then you're exhausted, is my understanding.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
I don't have kids, so
No, so you
I still
could-
get to play.
You do, and I see you play every Saturday, or sometimes it's a Friday. Depends on what night I go over and hang out with
What
Bridget.
game
Yeah,
do
but
you usually play?
Well, that depends on the day, right? But
Oh, yeah. Saturday
priorities
night.
first, right? You got to get through work, right? So
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right.
I might not be done work, but I'll go upstairs, shoot a few people, and I'll just relax. And then I can go back down and finish whatever it is that was
Headshots, I'm
stumping me,
getting
or just getting on my
Go
nerves.
shoot a few people. And then
Well, I mean, if
relax.
you're playing Grand Theft Auto, it's amazing to jump in a cop car, run down all of Las Vegas, mowing down every pedestrian, steal
don't
an army
think I
tank, and escape
played
into the
that
woods.
Is the Vice City one?
yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, actually, San Andreas. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wait, maybe I have
But
played
no, I
that.
play also. I mean, I play all sorts. But I mean,
Yeah.
I've grown up in Doom. Still
Yes.
was like one of the
Yeah.
Actually, it was Wolfenstein. Someone first showed me Wolfenstein, and
See, I
at
don't know
that
that game.
moment, well, it's a first-person shooter. So you've seen people
Oh,
play
okay, yeah.
Doom, right? It was
All
the
right,
exact
yeah.
same gameplay as the original Doom. And when I saw that, I got into computers. So I could play that at home.
Yeah.
And then I figured out how to do a sound card, and then I became a computer nerd on top of all of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of goes hand in hand for
but
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was just hooked. But I mean, my first video game, not the Pong that the first arcade game that you talked about.
Yeah.
I remember being 4 or 5 years old, walking through the Methuen Mall here.
Oh my God.
And
I remember.
Sears was there, and they had the Atari.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there was always a line to just play it, and it just fascinated me. I mean, even
Yeah.
at that point in time. So when I got my first Atari, and then in television, and then everything else going on and on.
Yeah. Oh, I think
it
we
was
have a
still pretty
visitor.
cool. Hey.
Yes. Hi, Mom. Come on in.
Oh,
I'm only staying 5 minutes. That's it.
All right. Have a
and a
seat.
quick visit
Have
from
a
Cookie.
have a seat on the couch,
I
Mom.
want to go see my Jesse Stone. I love that series. Did
Oh.
you watch that?
No.
Awesome. Who was it?
See,
It's Tom Selleck. She loves Tom Selleck.
Oh, you gotta love Tom
We'll
Selleck.
finish. We'll definitely finish. Yeah. I told her she had to come down to make an appearance.
That's it. I'm all
Cool.
done?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
What, no snacks?
Oh, I'll just wait. I'll go up. I can't
Where's the
believe that's
hospitality?
no,
Mom, what kind of
fresh
Italians
baked
are we?
cookies?
No.
Cookie.
Should have baked. See, I should have baked.
So
Next
she should have
I
been.
was
here.
expecting a side of pasta just to
I know,
appear.
right? Where are the
What's
cutlets?
in the oven? That was delicious. April, that was delicious.
Oh, and Mom is referring to my chili, but she's biased. She's my mother. She has to say
No,
that.
no.
No.
I put everything on it. Everything on it.
Yeah, you got to.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm full. I'm
For-
definitely done.
Forever.
Yes.
Till the next time.
Yeah.
I can appreciate some good chili. That was some
Isn't
good
this
chili.
cute down here?
Yeah.
She did it all herself.
I had some help.
I thought Bridget helped a little bit.
No, Bridget didn't do
Yeah,
anything.
I did come over and help with the soundproof.
Sorry, Bridget.
Yeah, she did help out a little bit there.
Sorry, Bridget.
As you can see, the soundproof foam up here, right, Phil? I tried a couple of tactics, and the only thing that actually worked to keep them on the ceiling was a staple gun.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah. I didn't want to do that, and I had, like I said, tried a
Well,
couple.
especially because like if you're in the basement and stuff, if you use
Yeah.
like double-sided tape, it gets too moist.
yeah, and
it-
that's
That's
it.
what's
And because I'm that
happened,
cool,
yeah.
I'm in a
Pops off.
basement doing all this, so in my little
Do you want
April cave. But
It was fun.
do you want me
Mom?
to put the fan on to bring up some?
No, is everybody good temperature
Comfy,
wise for now?
good.
All right, it's not too bad. No, so Mom, I have a big question for you.
What's that?
Have you ever played a video game?
No.
Yes, you have.
When?
We've played the Kinect up in the kitchen.
Oh God, that's not really.
No,
yeah.
that, well, it's a type of a video game.
Yeah.
It's we played the what do we play tennis? We played some sports
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But it's without a hand. Oh no, you hold something for that,
No,
right?
No, this was nothing. We didn't
No.
have
No.
anything.
No.
Right?
No,
Yeah.
Nintendo. You had when you had the Wii, you'd hold the little paddles.
Okay, that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah,
Of, something
this
like
was
that.
hands free.
So
I
actually-
think the Sony even had like the
yeah, the move.
yeah.
Yep.
the move. Oh, Sam.
Yeah, that is just too much work, right? When I want a game, I'm either sitting
Yeah,
at my
sort of
chair
zone
in
out.
front of my computer, and I got my Doritos Blue specifically, right? Because that's what's required.
Rich kid, of
And
course.
We are kindred spirits,
you know,
sir.
whatever else I need to, at that moment for
Yeah.
a drink, right? And when I was young, it was Jolt. When now
Yes.
it's
Jolt.
I remember
now I'll have a hard
Jolt.
cider.
I remember Jolt.
No, it's like you're opening a can of plutonium.
and you can still
No
find
difference.
it online at Think Geek
can?
every
Might
so
have been
often.
in
the- Oh, yeah.
So you're not.
Really?
I know you don't plug a lot of
That's
places,
after
but
my
that
time.
would be something for anybody.
Wait,
who
what was
would
it?
Think Geek.
Oh, I do love that website. I
But
love that website.
It's not there all the time. I found it. I even bought my buddy a case of it for Christmas, and he freaked out. He loved it.
The blue one is the best, my by far. That's
Wait,
my.
they had more than one
So-
kind of Jolt?
Yeah, some flavor.
But to get back to it, with
Oh.
that whole motion in the video games, it is really innovative. Like taking it out at the warehouse and going out to do something like that. That is awesome.
See,
Yeah.
like, you
But to
never
sit at your
thought,
house,
yeah.
And when you go to, how many people got hurt playing Wii bowling? The
Love
Nintendo system,
bowling.
right?
That
How
was
many
one of my
TVs got
favorite.
destroyed from playing Wii bowling?
Actually, I think we
nobody's
played
gonna
bowling
slip on the-
upstairs. Yeah, we did I love the bowling, but you're right. It's hard not to almost,
And it's a workout.
It-
I mean, if you bowl the whole,
Yep.
for a couple of hours and you're just playing like it.
Yeah.
Normally in Zelda, in 2 hours, you're just still zoned out on the, on your couch.
Yeah,
God, I
no,
love it.
I've done the sports one, like the boxing, the tennis, forget the track. I fail the track every time. I just turn the thing off because I want to cry myself to sleep. Because they have the ones with the hurdles. I can't jump that high.
Almost like Dance Dance Revolution,
Oh, I
right?
better-
I
I better say
obviously
something
can't
good.
move like that, right?
Yeah.
So I fail miserably. But that's a workout. You got to be.
It is.
Yeah.
You got to have your.
Yeah.
Well, then
calisthenics.
Xbox had their other one. They came out with the with a Kinect, which is like your
That's
body.
what I
Your
have.
body is the movement thing. Then there was like
That's
that
what we got.
that dance
Yeah.
game.
Oh, I didn't do the dance.
Dance Central, I think it's called.
Ooh, I don't have that.
I worked for Pepsi one year at South by Southwest. You ever heard of that? It's like a music and film festival. It's, anyway, it was in Austin, Texas, And I worked for Pepsi as like a brand ambassador kind of thing. And
Oh, yeah.
long story short, we had this giant 18-wheeler that had all LED screens on the side of it. And so we hooked up an Xbox 360 to that, and that's when the Kinect first came out. And so I got to like dance battles with people on this giant screen. Like,
All right, that's
yeah,
kinda
it was
neat.
so much fun.
Yeah, but I mean, but it's a workout, right?
Oh yeah,
It
for
is,
sure. You're not-
absolutely.
And
Oh, yeah.
that is definitely not what you think of when you think of
Video
No,
games,
not
yeah.
traditionally, but I think that it's that kind of evolution with the games.
Yeah, it
makes
was
it
becoming
better.
more immersive.
It can, right? But it's
Yeah.
tiring, right? And
Yeah.
we are all pretty much lazy when it comes down to it. Well,
We are. No, we are.
Sure.
I get home, I sit on the couch, I grab a controller, and my thumbs get a hell of a workout.
Yeah, I don't.
But,
I'm never lazy.
Yeah, he's got good thumbs.
I'm always lazy. My goodness. But it was something that I found recently. There was a video. This woman, she studies brains. I forgot what the term what she actually does, but she studies the functionality of brains and things like that. And she did this video about video game effects on the brain, and it was actually proven. Like, one of the theories that says more screen time will like hurt your eyes. It's
Yeah.
actually made their eyes stronger.
Huh.
Those number charts with the letters, and they tell you which the smallest you can read.
Right, yeah.
The normal person's like here, and the gamer is 2 levels below. They can see small, they can see further, and they said, as far as being a distraction, as far as like being, keeping your attention, they found that they can, the levels of gray, like when it's foggy out, a lot of those shooting games, you're like focusing through fog and things like that. They were talking about how they can focus better in like foggy weather because they can see through the gray. Like they can identify with their eyes a car in the fog before maybe a non-gamer. And it was kind of interesting. I didn't watch the whole thing, but she
Sounds
said that
interesting.
there was actually some very positive effects on the brain.
And doctors, they
Yeah,
do.
and with the
A lot of the surgery now is based on video game controllers. The Army,
Yeah.
a lot of their drone flights are all based on. It's just easier to figure out how to make the electronics look like an Xbox controller,
Right.
than it is to reteach these guys
There's a
how
lot
to
of
play
precision.
games. And
Right, because
if
a
you
lot
give
of
them
it's muscle
controller-
memory at that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they know how to fly a drone in expert mode at that point, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's you can do a lot with
You
that.
can do
and
an awful lot with that. I think it's amazing. And then
But
you think
it's-
about the games like, like when we go backwards again, like Frogger, Cubert. I mean, Asteroids. Remember Asteroids? That was just one little pew, 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 just trying
still
to
a
shoot
fun
'em.
game to play.
Oh, I've always
Asteroids?
played.
Yeah.
Well, you have.
Well, I have a full arcade cabinet downstairs.
He does.
The whole MAME, the
He
MAME
really
thing.
does.
I got the old original Star Wars arcade game. The one with the vector graphics.
Why aren't we doing this at your house?
Because,
I know, right?
and then I've got the MAME cabinet. I've always wanted to put one together, and I got some of the ROMs I've just had floating around, and it's cool. You can, it's a flashback. You put that on, and even the kids today, they get completely enthralled in it.
Oh yeah.
Because it's gigantic. Nothing is that big anymore.
Yeah, it's a full size.
with the-
They're two
yeah.
full size cabinets.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
See, now when I was younger,
Yeah, but I don't have kids.
Right, but I still would like one of those. I actually am wearing
Actually-
a T-shirt of my favorite arcade game, the
Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original game's my favorite by far.
We can show you how to do that after this podcast is over.
Sure.
But I've got a full MAME cabinet build set up.
That's awesome.
yeah, it actually
Including
is
a
pretty
really
sweet.
inexpensive, you can plug it into an HDMI port on your TV in the living room and have a really decent controller for
That's
it.
great.
I love it. Yeah, it's amazing. Like I said, every time I walk in that basement, I always look at it, I'm like, God, just think about the Methuen Mall and Brittany. I just called her Brittany. Bridget, the Methuen Mall. When I used to go, and you used to go, I used to go straight to the arcade after I did my little walk around because I went because the boys were there.
The Dream Machine.
The Dream Machine. That's where I would hang out. But all the video games, they don't have arcades in malls at all anymore.
I don't go to a mall, so I really couldn't
I don't
tell
really-
you.
There is still Tilt, and
Wait, what's that?
Well, it's like it's an arcade. They have them in like some
Is it a
malls.
destination or is it part of a mall?
It's part of a mall. Like
Really?
they have like the actual arcade. There's like I think in a Woburn Mall, I think they still have one.
Oh, okay, all right.
And then I know there's one in Cape Cod at that mall. They have a small
Yeah,
arcade.
but they used to be in every mall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? You'd go to a bowling alley, there'd be games. You go to the movies, there'd be
Yeah.
a line of
Although I
arcade
think if you
games.
go to the bowling alley up in Bradford, I think there still might be a little video game room.
That was like my favorite part of going to a movie theater when I was a kid was playing video games before you go watch the movie.
Well, we just
Yeah.
lost a great arcade here in the near where we are in the Pelham, New Hampshire area. It was a Pinball Wizard. It was right next to
Oh,
a
man.
movie theater.
Is that
But
on the
this was
30?
a-
That's on 38.
Yes, it was a
Right.
destination
By Chalky
arcade.
Cinema.
It was, I don't know,
Yes,
20,000 square feet, pinball games, skee ball.
I took Lydia there once.
all the
still
old
have it?
classics, some of the
they
newer,
closed down.
the car games, right, where just 4 or 6 cars all
Right.
wired
Skee ball,
together.
air hockey.
But they went out of business, so that was the only
Yeah.
arcade
Yeah.
we had around here.
That was a good one too.
So
that was a
a
good
lot of
one.
that's because I think it's because everybody has something at their house
Yeah.
or on their,
Right.
and the phone has completely changed it,
Oh,
right?
forget
I
it.
mean,
I get hooked on the games
Right,
I have. On my
I can
phone.
pull up my phone right now, and I have a Game Boy and I have a Super Nintendo all on my phone. So it's like,
Me too.
yeah, that actually,
Actually,
it's
she
really
can now.
sad
She has an
because
iPhone.
that even goes to
We can
like
listen to
how
games on your phone.
like
I know, but I don't want to.
so when I was a kid, like the Xbox, like the first Xbox when that came out, Halo, that was the big like
Halo.
couch. 4 people on a couch hitting each other, screen watching. Da, 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 da.
Yep.
Games nowadays have evolved to the point where they take out the whole camaraderie, the whole human interaction. Now it's just online with a headset, and it's just like it's sad.
which is convenient, but you go right to that point, right? I don't know if everybody gets what you're describing, which is you would have 4 players. You would play
Yep.
simultaneously. Your television will be split into 4 screens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you would watch what your buddy's doing if you were really good, which goes back to that hand-eye coordination you were alluding
Yeah.
to.
Yep.
And you could basically watch your buddy come around the corner and shoot him in the face as he came around that corner because you're watching both squares.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was cheating, and that was, you would.
It
there would
was
be
cheating,
fights.
but
And people would drag their computers to their buddy's house, and they would run cables all over the different rooms and set up computers, and that is gone, right? It used to be this big social thing. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's convenient that it's online, but
Yeah.
some of that other magic's gone.
it is.
Yeah,
It
well, a
really
lot
is
of
because that was one of the greatest things about video games is that it brought people together playing this game. Sure, I love being able to talk to my friend online, but why fix something that's not broken? Why not just improve on it and add to it? It's like, yes, I can go online and play someone in China, but I can also play
Yeah.
somebody sitting next to me. Like we could pop up a game right now and
Yeah.
just play together.
I'll put a
that's why I
giant.
see-
And next time we have a video game, I'm going to put a big screen right there, and we can all play video games.
So Nintendo tried it with Game Boys. Remember the
Yep.
stupid Game Boy Link cable that
Yeah.
no one ever used?
Little Pokemon.
But so they've tried it with that, right? They tried it. Sony tried it with their, I think it was PlayStation Portable. PS.
Yep. The PSP. Yeah.
See, these
That
are
had
the,
its
these are the
own-
systems. I never owned systems, so some of these I know a few of them.
But I got
I know some.
I recently got the Switch, right? I know
Okay,
I got it.
cool.
I got it a year late, right? I mean,
Switch?
it came out, and the only game I cared about initially was Zelda because that would occupy 300 hours, and that was
That was the
Yeah, that
Sky,
was- that's
the,
a-
the bird one, right?
That's
yeah.
the big. That one has always been popular. Zelda.
And I've always played every Zelda game that's ever come out.
Yeah.
They're all great. But the Switch, they're coming on with their online service. That I can see actually working because it's going to be completely wireless. You can show up. You can, you and I could just sit here and we could Mario Kart to death all day long.
Right.
oh my
that
god,
I could
Mario
see.
Kart! I got a blister on my right palm for playing one of those mini games.
But there it is.
I did,
You can
years ago.
still do that within like the same room of somebody. You know what I mean? So,
And that's how I used to play. We'd all be in the same. We all have our controller. We'd all play in the same. And that's it. It was one of those little mini games. I had to do this on and I got a blister right there.
you're talking about like Mario Party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mario Party. That's what it was. Mario Party. Yeah, that was fun though.
Yeah, the social aspect of it's cool. I remember being young too. And, you got the new Pac-Man game. Everybody would go over
Pac-Man.
Ricky's house or whatever and play Pac-Man after school. It was fun.
Yeah, I miss those things, and we kind of discussed a few of the different genres of the games that they have. Like we never owned video game
No.
systems, right, Mom?
That was like,
How come?
I
You're on the
think they
spot
would-
now.
I think we were just sort of at the beginning of it, and we
Yeah.
weren't too into it until a few years later.
And we just kind of never.
We never got
Yeah, but-
Never
interested
got around
in it,
So-
you know?
to it.
I mean, but they had the video game death. All the home consoles died around 82, 83
Yeah.
because the games were so bad. Every
Yeah.
Atari game that came out was you were a block chasing that block to make it, make an X over it, and it was dead.
Yeah.
That was. I mean, the graphics were
And
limited for home
everything
video
kept
games.
changing, and I think that's what it was because everything changes so quickly. It's like
Yeah.
they'd be buying us a new thing all the time. But The only time I've ever had, other than having the Kinect now, the only time I ever had a game system in my house was when the guys would come over when I used to live in Plaistow. We'd all hang out.
That was at your place, but
Yeah,
but at home we didn't have that.
we never had that.
option,
But it was
you know,
also
I just
very
didn't have it.
expensive when it first
Yeah.
came out.
It was
That
very
was the other thing I
Pong-
was going to say. It was
Pong was like $100, and translate that to today's dollars, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
$400.
Be like when the PS3 first came out, it was like $500. Like what audacity.
And nowadays that would be around $800 to
Yeah,
get that first
easy.
Sony PlayStation. Atari was $200 at the time when it came out,
yeah.
and I think that translates around $900 with today's money. So it wasn't easy to get into it. And then the
No, it
cartridges
wasn't.
cost $20.
Yeah,
Now
and
today,
each game.
$20 you can get rid of that buying a sandwich at McDonald's, right?
Oh my God!
But,
yeah.
back then I know $20 was a lot of money because my
It was.
parents said that when I asked them
Yeah.
to buy things. Can you get this
Well-
pitfall?
We used to go to McDonald's. The kids, I'd take the kids to McDonald's for a treat, and for like $6, I get 3 cheeseburgers, 2 fries, 2 drinks, and a coffee. For $6.
Yeah, and today you'd get ignored at this counter.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how things were at that time, you know.
That was
Yeah.
the 80s, right? Late 70s.
Well, 70s into the 80s. Yeah, I mean, you could, it was a lot of money. It wasn't a lot of money. $6 wasn't a lot of money, but you got a lot for your money there at the
Yeah,
time. Now that's
more
all,
bang for your buck.
and you got everything's gone up so high. You know?
Yep.
And I think that's definitely not the situation in video games anymore. $50, $60 for a title.
Easy.
And the quality is definitely not there. I
Oh,
play
yeah.
I see so many games. I'll try them. There's all demos and everything online too to try, and most of them don't last more than 5 minutes. The gameplay is something I've done a million times over. The character is terrible. I mean, the graphics are beautiful, but I don't
Yeah.
care how good the game looks
Right.
if I can't stand playing it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's like having a great, fantastic movie with special effects and explosions, all this stuff, but the main actor is a piece of wood.
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
episode 1?
Yeah, thank you.
what'd you say?
episode 2
Episode
and episode
1.
3.
This is something I
2,
know.
3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you,
They
Hayden
didn't need to
Christensen.
exist. There's only 3 movies.
I don't
Thank you.
on it.
Yep.
Some games I have found though. What was Mark used
They
to
go high
play?
five on that one too.
Phantom Menace review.
Right.
Phantom Menace.
Look that up, guys. Google it after you're done with this podcast and actually park your car. And
Oh yeah.
Damn you, Jar Jar Binks.
Don't drive while you're doing that kind of stuff. Some of the video games I always found, well, not all of them, but some of them I find were very interesting to just watch somebody play them. Like Mark used to play God of War all the time. I think that's the one.
different Mark.
Yes.
Yes.
Different Mark. Yes, not this Mark. I know a couple Marks, but he used to play God of War.
And it was graphically beautiful.
Well, I think that's what it was.
And they just
I
released
liked-
another version of it as well.
They did.
Yep.
See, I don't do
The
the, video
PS4.
games. Yeah. But Bridget,
Well, maybe for Christmas when you're good, I'll buy you one.
give me God of War.
I'm going.
Like that'll happen.
I'm going upstairs to see my Tom Selleck.
She's gonna go
Ooh!
watch Tom Selleck.
You know what? He was always my
Oh,
mother's
I
favorite.
thought she heard
Remember
my-
I was telling you, Mark, the other night? I was like, oh, Tom Selleck was always my
He
mother's
was-
favorite.
He's in the Magnum PI video.
It's the mustache. It's come on.
Yeah,
it's
and,
what it is.
Back
Yeah.
in the 80s.
Take away that mustache. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing.
Actually,
I'm just kidding.
I did see him without a mustache in
Yeah.
a movie
Did you?
when I was in Europe.
Yeah.
He must
all
have kind
places.
of all not balanced without that. He has
you,
to have
I
a
looked.
mustache.
You would look at him, and you're like, I know who that is. I know who that is. And it took like 20 minutes to figure out who it was.
But he's on Blue Bloods too, and I love that show. But he's got a series up there, and I'm going to leave you guys alone. Talk about whatever.
All right.
But
Nice
don't
to meet
talk
you.
when I'm gone.
Well, no. Only
gonna
good
talk
things.
about
Yes,
you.
Make it juice.
We'll lie. We'll make it juicy. Just kidding.
Take
Love
care.
you.
I'm going to stay away from the. It's too much. Delicious.
Oh,
Absolutely delicious.
all right. I'm glad. I love those. Bye.
Bye.
She's so cute. I love her. She's so funny. So she's going out tomorrow. She has a friend that she spends time
Love
with,
you
John,
too.
and he's super nice, and they go out a lot. And
Aw.
I think they're going out to some botanical gardens tomorrow and stuff. So they've been doing stuff, a lot of good stuff over the summer. But
That could be another topic for you, right?
Botanical gardens?
Your mom going on vacation.
Mom
That-
leaving me by myself. What's going to happen? Who's going to do all the cooking?
That
and
sounds like a
cleaning?
good hour.
Oh my god, the things that just have actually gotten said down here. It's funny. It's very easy to also deviate from sometimes the said topic, but I mean it happens, and then we just come back. But
Good conversation's good conversation.
so I want to do this list. So I found this little thing. I found some trivia questions here. Now, I probably wouldn't be able to name answer any of these, and obviously I can't because I'm looking at the questions. So I have the answers in front of me. So,
I'd hope so.
yeah, because if I didn't, there's a real problem there. So, I don't know. So this one here, it says, what year was Fallout 3 released?
Fallout
I would say
3?
give or take.
Fallout.
Oh,
I don't even know what
3?
Fallout is. Is that a shooting
I
game?
don't know. 2007.
I don't know. How many? Don't they have like 12 of those now?
No,
No
I
idea.
think this released
It's
like
like
they're coming out with like the 4.5. I don't know. I never played any of the Fallout games,
I
but
played Fallout when it first came out
Yeah.
in the 90s. And
it's Bethesda, isn't it? And that's the name of the company.
What kind of game is it? See, I don't
It's
even know
an
what kind of
open
game-
world where it's like you can basically go and do whatever
Alright.
you want to do. It's
Oh, alright.
post-apocalyptic.
Well,
and
is that your final answer?
what, 2007? What, Fallout 3? Yeah.
Close. 2008. So that
Okay.
was pretty good. But let me
I
find a
would
better
never
one.
have even ventured to guess. I haven't played the Fallout since the original.
So this is a totally easy one. What does Mario jump on after completing a level? Some of these
Well,
are cheesy questions. I just think they're cute.
Which Mario?
Yes.
I think in general, it
Are
doesn't
you trying
say
to trick
which one.
us?
I don't know. The computer's trying. Listen, I'm not that smart.
Yeah, it depends on what Mario you're talking about.
But I assume you're going to be talking about Super Mario Brothers, the
Oh,
original
I guess.
Nintendo NES, right? The
Well, you
original
are
Nintendo.
a geek. I love you to death. I do. It's great.
Or are we going to talk about Mario and Luigi and Mario Brothers? But
It just
I
says
digress.
Mario.
It's as Super Mario Brothers. He jumped on the flagpole.
Very
Yes,
good.
The flagpole.
Oh, and
I wanna-
if you're going to be a nerd on that, Phil, I'm sure you remember. Do you know how to get the fireworks to go?
Fireworks?
Get enough points, right? Or-
If you landed on it when it was a 3 on the timer, you
Okay.
get 3 fireworks. If you landed on it when it was
Huh.
6 and 9,
Huh.
Right.
See, I didn't know that.
I
I always
would
thought
not.
it was the placement of the pole jump. So
that
then
just
you get
gave
more points, yeah.
But then the fireworks would go off, and you get points for the fireworks.
Huh.
I'm actually not even liking some of these questions. I just was trying to figure out something.
Well, ask away.
All right, let's see. What? No, I don't like that one either. So
Okay.
this is where I get all kinds
but
of.
we
Well,
might
why don't,
like it.
You know what? We're the nerds.
Yeah.
Ask
Where's
us.
ours? That's true. I'm not a nerd. Well, I'm a little bit a nerd. All right.
You're
Name
nerdy
the
enough
ca-
to have this podcast.
I am nerd enough to have that. Okay, so name the character abused by Mario.
Abused?
Yeah,
Is this a domestic violence kind of thing?
I don't know.
or-
They could have been married. I'm not sure.
Peach.
Peach, yeah. The princess? I hope not.
Well, no, he abuses quite a few characters.
Yoshi?
Well, yeah,
No,
but Yoshi
Yoshi.
gets his own game after, so who
Right,
cares,
yeah.
right? So he earned it.
So,
Too true.
But like Bowser, I assume is what you're looking for is the baddie's name, right? In most Mario games.
He's not really abused, though, is he? I mean, he's just, he's just
no.
a nemesis.
Yeah, true.
Nemesis. Yeah. Well, if you guys don't want to, if you
What's
guys,
the answer?
Donkey Kong. Yeah, I don't. That doesn't. How is
Oh,
Mario
oh.
affiliated with Donkey
That's
Kong?
the Donkey Kong game, though.
Yeah, you'd have to go back to
Okay, see, I don't know that.
no. So that Donkey Kong was the first appearance of Jumpman, later renamed to Mario.
Yep.
Okay, see, I would never have known that.
The barrels coming down the little, like,
I remember the
platforms.
barrels. I was never very good at that game.
Yeah,
Or
it was back when
Cuber.
Donkey Kong was a villain, but then it later became Donkey Kong Country, which was another whole phenomenon.
Donkey Kong is actually a villain, not a hero.
Right.
It's just sacrilege to play Donkey Kong Country, which I am now playing.
Which is an amazing game.
Yeah.
And Diddy Kong and...
All right, so here's another interesting one. Name the all-time highest grossing game? That's gonna be hard.
Well,
time?
it's not going to be E.T.
Halo.
Oh, Bridget's got our. What do you think,
In
Brent?
sales or revenue generated by the game in some fashion?
It's a very vague question, unfortunately. So highest grossing, I'm thinking probably whoever's made the most money off
franchise or single selling
of it.
game?
Dude, I don't know, man.
No, it's got to be Mario.
Yeah, I mean...
That's what I would have guessed
Mario.
too.
Yeah.
It's World of Warcraft.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Because that's not only the sell price. You also
Yeah.
Right.
pay the monthly
Pay to
subscription.
play, yeah.
Aha.
Which is
see?
why I was fishing.
Yeah, it's a cash
Okay.
grab, because
I
it's
getcha.
like...
But you know what?
Yeah.
World of Warcraft, if you have a young son, buy him a license and pay for it every month. There's nothing better for birth control than unlimited game time at World of Warcraft.
No, I'm not interested in girls. I want to play Warcraft.
And there's a great TV show called The Guild. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
I think I saw
It
some
was
of
like
that.
a Will Wheaton kind of involved, and Felicia Day, I think, is the girl's name. But yeah, that is a beautiful 6-hour endeavor into the lives of 6 people who can't leave their houses because they're gamers.
Really? They just don't leave?
It's you know what,
They
I'm not going
dress
to
up
give
as
it all
their
away.
characters,
It's,
right? Yeah.
it is definitely the stereotypical perception of the World of Warcraft persona.
Really? All right, because like I said,
I just never got into that game. I think it was probably the cartooniness of it all. Like, I don't know.
I would enjoy it. I've played games like that before, but World of Warcraft specifically,
yeah.
I refuse to play it because I would be that guy sucked in and doing nothing but that.
Yeah, but you are
completionist.
sucked in all the time anyway, though. I mean, every time I see you, you're always playing a video
Yeah, but
game.
that's a pretty penny.
Kind of like how Bridget's obsessed with vacation.
But
Bridget
no,
is
I mean,
obsessed with vacation.
to that point where every amount of free time would be spent just doing that because
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah.
There's always the hey, let me go get that other quest, and so I was killing green frogs because I was a level 1 character. Now I'm killing red frogs because I'm a level 80 character. So it's the same game over and over
Right.
and over,
and
again.
over
It's-
again.
Changing the colors and the variations. Just grinding.
No offense to you, World of Warcraft players. I get it. It's awesome to
Right.
get involved with
Yeah.
that, but I can't put that much time into a game.
Well, and speaking of this, actually it's a perfect little transition here because I wanted to discuss how people make a career out of playing video games in the esports world. When I was house sitting for you the last time, I caught this show, and I actually forget the name of the show, what channel it was on, but it followed these 5 female. They were on a gaming team, and they did tournaments. They went all over the world. They would play like they were professional.
They're all female?
All female, and apparently it's a thing. Like, I mean, I was looking at gamers and teams like that, and the top 10 highest female esports gamers, they the highest paying so far. The girl, she's breached $200,000, but that's not even close.
Annually or for like an event?
It doesn't say annually. I don't know if it's annual or just as a total. It's just
Let's
total.
say it's like, oh,
It's
those
total earnings. So I'm thinking probably just combined. I'm thinking it's probably combined that she's made over $200,000 doing it. And these girls are on these teams and they'll travel all over and they're amazing because then you go to these tournaments and they have these different stations where you're all sitting next to each other and you're playing the game together as a team. And you're playing your opponents, who I think are usually on the opposite side, and you play and get certain levels or whatnot, and then you win. And I happened to catch this one episode. I think it was an older episode because I think it was from last year. These girls ended up coming in second, but if they had won, they would have been the best in the world for that particular game. I
Any
also
specific type of game they play? I mean,
it was of course you had to ask. No. I wanted to remember too.
It was a shooter, right?
It was a shooter
I'm
game.
assuming, yeah.
So
I want to say it began with M. No.
Minecraft.
Duck Hunt.
No. I don't remember, but it was a shooter game. It was definitely a
Duck Hunt.
shooter.
No, that's pretty much where I think that esport thing is. But you know what?
Well,
Oh my
no,
God.
but men, a lot more
Probably
money.
Overwatch, I'm assuming.
Like the highest, I saw the highest grossing, like one man, he's made over $3 million being a gamer.
Yeah.
But I think it's amazing because they're sponsored. They go, like I said, they go to these events. But it's you think about like who really knew that was going to happen with video games when they first came out. Like they went from like these little Atari.
There's always been
systems.
talk about pulling video games into an Olympic sport, like as part of the Olympics.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I give people, you want to watch it, great. But personally, I just can't be bothered to sit down and watch
That's a lot.
other
Somebody
people's
else
game.
playing, yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm
Right,
watching
yeah.
a friend and I'm hanging out at his house and we're watching a game, that's totally different.
Yeah.
Right.
But to sit down, to have friends over to watch TV, watch people play video games on TV,
I'd be playing them myself.
Yeah.
right there with you. But
But I never
you can make
realized.
money.
Yeah, I
You
didn't
have for a
realize
long
you
time.
can make that kind of money. I mean, I knew that existed, but I never really realized how.
First
big
time I
it was.
remember hearing about it was QuakeCon, which was mid '90s, that people could start making money playing games. Good for them.
I think it's great. Yeah, I don't know if I could do that either. I mean,
I tried with Guitar Hero. I did like competitions and stuff, and I won a couple. And
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
that was my life for 5 years, just
Really?
all about Guitar Hero, and and I just
I do. I have to say, I fell in love with that game. I
Yeah.
did, and we used to go to your house once in a while for rock band parties.
It was that was perfect. I lived on the top floor apartment.
Yeah, you
the
did.
neighbor below me was deaf. The guy next to me wasn't there at night, and the
Yeah.
lady all the way down on the bottom floor, she didn't care what I did. She was just happy because we invited her up. So,
nice. Yeah. Well, there you go. There you go.
But yeah, we would play that to all hours. But so esports is one way people make
Yeah.
money, but
Yeah.
there's a whole other.
Oh, absolutely.
So like, I don't do this either, really. But people do Twitch and they'll do YouTube videos. So Twitch, they'll actually stream
Yeah.
the gameplay, and they'll have conversations with people and interact with them through. Whatever media they want, but in-game chat, or they'll let people into a social room and they can talk and
People will even donate money and stuff too while they're like playing the game. I see that, or like
jump off the bridge,
dropping
here's
like their
$10.
Bitcoin or whatever into the game.
Yeah.
I'm like, why?
But and then so on top of that, all those folks, they also have if you have a site that can fund that, you also have all your advertisers and sponsors, just like you were talking
Right.
about for the
Yep.
esports folks.
Yeah.
I don't know how much money you can. I don't think you could become independently wealthy today.
Right.
No, I
if
think
you
you
took on
wouldn't.
video games as a career, but you
Yeah.
definitely have a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I can't see that as being. I would see that as being like a supplemental income, something to do on the side, something that's fun for you. But
See, I'd
all
see,
these
it, I'd
girls,
see it
these-
completely different though, because to be the best, you really have to give it your time.
Well, you do. I mean, but there are that few people, that selected few people that actually can and want to do that. This is me personally, but like I said, these girls that I was watching on that particular episode, they're all in their young 20s. They fell in love with the game they've been playing since they were, kids or whatnot, and they just fell that in love with what they did that they turned it into a profession, which, hey, props. I mean, if you can do it, right? And they seem to be enjoying themselves and having a good time. But I've never done the interactive. I've never tried that.
No?
No, I've seen you do it a little here and there, and I've seen other people, but
Oh, you mean when I'm playing online with folks?
yes, that I've never tried.
It gets really fun.
It can be totally fun, but then if you're playing, massive role-playing games or any kind of role-playing game, like you see me play Destiny at the house.
Yeah.
I love
And,
Destiny.
Screaming and yelling at people. And if I'm playing with people that I've played with for a while, they all, it's all in good fun. We know exactly why we're mad at each other. If we're playing with
Yeah.
new people, they don't get it, and it's
They take it
you,
personally.
leave.
got to teach them. Just
Yeah.
hey, chill out. We're
Yeah.
all going to get mad.
Yeah. don't
Which
worry.
Destiny do you play? The second or the first one?
The first one's still the real Destiny. The
Absolutely.
second one is absolute crap. And
Tell us how you really feel.
When was the last time you played the second one?
I play it constantly because my friends are on it. So,
Okay. So you play it with the update and all that stuff?
Yeah, and
and-
it's even worse now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
But I've done everything up until the last event that they want. I'm just like, I'm not going to go earn a reward called Fashion Hero.
Yeah.
Fashion hero?
That was one of the
I don't know.
awards
I kind
they gave
of
in the
pegged you
game.
for that, though.
Yeah, it's like a reoccurring thing, like the faction or whatever. It's like there's like 3 different factions or whatever. It's like pledge allegiance to that one. It's like what's
No.
the point?
This was end of first year of gameplay. So they do it as a seasonal event, and every calendar year they wrap up. So the first Destiny game came out 4 years ago, 5
Yeah,
years ago
yeah.
now.
Yeah, my 40th birthday. I think is when
There
you-
she is. I was wondering where Bridget was doing
That's
all
right,
that.
because your
There
brother
she
was
is.
like, "Oh yeah, you should play this game," and then
my
I played that
40th
game, and then I
birthday
didn't
party.
talk to Bridget for 4 years.
Yeah, the first one was definitely the best.
But no, in the end of the first year of the game of Destiny, they had just goals to set up for the players to say, "Hey, I achieved something," and it was like do the 6 hardest activities in the game, right? Like beat this boss, beat that boss on hard mode, and work with your team. You had to work with the team to do it.
Yeah.
And at the end of this new game, they released it Destiny 2. The end of this first year of Destiny 2, they're like, collect these tokens. And they name everything, so it feels like participation trophies in my mind.
Oh,
Right.
That's cool.
It's like
No.
the more you play, the more you get, or yeah.
Yeah, so I just no.
The
But, yeah.
thing I don't like about Destiny 2, or I don't know, I mean, I forgot. I wasn't sure if Destiny was more of this realm. I think it was, but it's one of those like because I have a kid and I can't play video games as much as I want to. I love this game, but I feel like it's a game that if you don't play it, you miss out on everything.
Yep.
I can't go back and like
If you're
play
a
a level.
completionist, if you're a
It feels like,
completionist,
oh, no
you
wonder why
can't
Mark
not play the
plays so
game
much.
throughout
Right.
the course.
Like I bought like the season of like the expansions and stuff, but I've missed the entire last expansion because I haven't been able to play it.
That's a whole other pet peeve of mine now too.
Yeah.
What updates?
So, well, it started with phones, and it's morphed into just video games. But you get your app on your phone. I don't mind paying $5 for a game.
Yeah.
I hate paying $5 for a game and then being micromanaged with buy this extra
yeah.
pack of cards for whatever the
Right.
benefit in the game is for $1, or buy an extra life. for $1. And people, microtransactions, people go all day long.
Oh, yeah.
And now in video games, they because of the online delivery capability they have, they'll sell you a half-finished game for $60,
Right.
and get it out the market, which shortens their development time in the game studios. But they never promise it that way. They don't sell it to us that way. They're like,
No.
oh, here's a finished game, and we're going to sell you more content
For
but you-
$30.
$30 a whack, and you have to continue. Now that would be great if there was a lot of content, but a lot of these add-ons they add is things that I used to do for free on a PC.
It's like your green frog, red frog situation.
Yeah.
It's just like variations of the same thing.
But I love the concept of extend the game, but a lot of what I would consider top end AAA game designing studios, they do a really poor job of creating that additional content that makes me want to part with my money.
Yeah.
And even Nintendo, absolutely love Nintendo, right? I have all my life. They've always done really good games. They released Zelda. They made their first DLC that I bought, and I was so disappointed for $20 at how bad that additional downloadable content was.
Oh.
So I think that could sour some people too if they're actually frugal or Scrooge-ish like I am. I made up that word.
But you're particular
yeah.
with what you spend, and that's okay, because you don't want to just spend your money on stuff that's not going to be
Right. It's like, if this is
satisfactory.
not going to improve my happiness of playing this game
Right.
to begin with,
It's not
why
contributing.
spend money on
Yeah.
it?
It's not contributing
I'm
to your
good
life
with
the way you
this.
want it.
Well, but that's just the general. No, I got opinions. Just ask. I'll tell you.
I know. I've known you for quite some time there.
So, can I just
No, Bridget, you're not allowed to talk.
interject here?
There she is.
So I live with Mark, and
I'm sorry.
he plays Destiny morning, noon, and night. So I'll be, puttering around the house, cleaning or cooking, whatever. And the theme songs that play throughout the video games, day
Yeah.
after day after day, like
After day
in my
after day.
mind,
Oh,
I
wait.
kind of know
Who's
what's going to
calling?
happen next with the sound effects of the game. Like, I know when he's about to go
She's
into
on the
battle, or just the way he talks with other.
You might want to turn that on Do Not Disturb during your
Yeah,
podcast.
I'm going to do that next time. I forgot about that.
And so, I can even tell by the way he's talking to his teammates or whatever while he's playing that they're about to go into battle, and I know, okay, I shouldn't ask him what he wants for dinner. Like, I'll hold off for like a half hour. Yeah, because I don't want to interrupt him while he's in the middle of a battle.
Well, it's because you've seen me play and you've seen it long enough. You know that I'm playing with a group of people, and all of us depend upon each other to accomplish the task at hand and win. Right? We're all pretty. I'm not overly competitive, right? Yes, I like to win. I will do my absolute best, and I'll keep doing it over.
Well, that's the point of the game, right? To win.
But
Yeah.
I don't want to just half-ass it, right?
No.
So, and you've seen me half-ass things before, and even playing the games, and I'm like, oh, guys, I'm wicked sorry.
Yeah.
But you can't fix like when the pizza guy shows up. I mean,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, you kind of got to, that's
When you
important.
wrap things up, and
Yeah.
the other thing too is just the music that's that plays throughout the video games. I kind of have them instilled in my
Bridget,
head. Like, I'll be
kinda
in the shower,
Get a little closer to the microphone, sweetheart. Not on top of it. Just there you go.
so I'll be in the
That's
shower.
good, thank you.
And I'll start humming. And I'll catch myself, or I'll be house cleaning, and
Oh, you're humming the
But
theme
you-
song to the video game.
But you know what was the best?
and I
though?
don't realize I'm doing it.
When I played Zelda around Christmas when I got the Nintendo Switch,
Yeah.
right? And I played that straight. You were singing those songs out loud, dancing and singing in the kitchen, the Zelda songs.
Well, I mean, Zelda's got some of the best theme music of all. Like, it's the Ocarina of Time alone, but it had some of the best soundtrack.
So you bring up there's 3 Zelda games, right? There's
Yeah.
always the new one, Ocarina of Time, and the original. Those
Right.
Everything else in between, some were great, some were all right, but those, it's always the original and Ocarina of
Brick
Time that
Game
stand
Boy.
out. But then, the new one's always great, but everyone still goes back and plays Ocarina.
Yeah.
And what was that, Nintendo 64?
Yeah,
Cartridge, right?
64, yeah.
So, and then there's the original one, and actually, so Nintendo's bringing back a lot of those original games on the Switches
Nice.
in a couple of months.
Yeah.
So,
And then I
that'll
think
be
they're coming out, because I know they did the NES Classic with little miniature version of it.
fun. Yep, just like you'd buy the Atari joystick, right? With
yeah.
the 12 games.
They're about to release the 64 version of that, which is going to be pretty cool. So
GoldenEye.
All the way. No, you can't be Odd Job.
But so we're talking about all these old things, right?
Yeah.
So I go to I don't go every year, right? But I've gone a couple of times with my friend Mark, another Mark. So that's like the third Mark
Yeah,
as
there's
far
quite a
as
few of you.
conversations.
Marks love games.
But I went to
Right.
PAX East, and it's a
Never
video
been,
game
yeah.
conference, right? It's a 3-day conference about just people playing games, and there's a huge conference center. It's got to be
Yeah.
12 football fields.
And where is this held?
In South Boston.
Okay. Oh wow. So it's not
Yeah,
too
don't
far.
go anywhere
everybody-
near the city during that time.
No, and people fly in from all over the country and world and
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
They have a
Can
few of
imagine.
them all over, right? But this
Yeah.
is just the one in Boston that I've been to, and they had the old arcade setups there. But what I found was the most interesting is they'd have old video game like challenges and competitions.
Oh, nice. See,
So like,
that's
who can
cool.
finish Super Mario Brothers in the fastest time? Who can get the highest score in Pitfall? Who can
Pitfall.
They'd have
That was
GoldenEye
another one.
competitions.
Awesome.
They would have Mario Kart competition. And I think it was just fun that you could just go in and sit down and just play in these things. And then they had all the actually PAX was cool too because it wasn't just video games. They actually had a whole third of the arena. That conference center was dedicated to board games.
Yep. Huge
Really?
Magic the
Well,
Gathering.
isn't a lot of video games kind of stem from some sort of board game or some, well, not all of them, but like some of them are.
Well, I mean, it's
some of them are
still
board
part
games.
of the gaming world, for
People
sure.
played Dungeons and
Yeah.
Dragons,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
we did
that's-
everything on paper. I mean, when we were kids, we used our imagination, right?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
So those games
yeah.
have just, taken it to a whole other level. But you start blending that. I know I go from like the cool, competitive, old school games and bring up these board games, but yeah, they all kind of blend in together. It's about having fun,
Right.
Yeah,
In
and
the
that's
end.
the best part about it because it
Yeah.
is a lot of fun.
and you can't play board games online.
Well,
Not real board games,
Right, yeah.
Not the ones that gamers think
I
of.
was like, you can play Sellers of Catan online, but it's not as fun.
You could do jigsaw puzzles online.
Bridget plays her jigsaw
Bridget-
puzzles.
Yeah, he does his video games. I like my jigsaw puzzle app.
Yeah.
I like puzzle games. I do like some shooting games. I love.
I think you would love Portal.
It's 100% puzzle.
All puzzle,
Oh, then I would like Portal.
all sci-fi.
I also well, remember when what was it? Were we talking about games that I love bass fishing.
yeah.
It's so not full of
That was-
excitement.
that was
but,
my dad's
But it was the
game, like-
Dreamcast one that had the actual.
Yeah.
fishing.
Yep.
I get weird looks when I say that game, but I do love me a good snowboarding game.
Yeah.
Love snowboarding
1080.
games.
Do you remember the name?
1080 was one of them. SSX Tricky, and I have one on my phone.
And you have to be specific. It is SSX Tricky that you enjoyed because there's other editions of that game that
Yeah,
are very
this is the
bad.
one I play. Snowboarding, the fourth phase.
Oh my
This is the one I
gosh.
play. And it's probably an old game, right? But it's great on my phone. It's very addicting. But yes, so I like that.
That's always a pain point too, right? As these game systems that you purchase and you have in your house, as
Yeah.
they age, there's no real way to continue to play them unless you still have those consoles.
Right.
and
You take
that.
good care of those consoles.
So there are quite a few, a handful of games. I still have the game itself, the disc or the cartridge, but I don't even have a system for them.
yeah.
There's a handful of that. There's got to be a way to fix that problem.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
sure
there's
there is.
emulators now, so you can just
Well, some
take
of them
that
are in my
game.
main cabinet.
Yeah.
But going forward, it would just be great if those companies could realize that they could still turn a profit on some of their older games.
Oh,
Yeah.
they absolutely could.
Because stuff resurfaces and people just want to
Well,
play
look what
that
they do
again.
with TV shows. Come on, why can't you do it with video games?
Yeah, or they do even do reboots of certain games
Yeah.
and stuff too.
Nah, I'm not a big fan of doing the reboot.
No.
You screw things like even when a rock band, metal band, country, doesn't matter who, right? But your favorite musical artist.
Yeah.
And you've learned and you've grown up listening to Iron Maiden sing "Hallowed Be Thy Name" a specific way on "Number of the Beast" and "Live After Death." Then not Iron Maidens per se, but then they released their remaster.
Who's Iron
and
Maiden?
they would
I'm kidding.
and then they would
Change it.
they would change the way they sing because it's 30 years later. They remastered it. I know Megadeth did that. And when people make it better,
Right.
I think that they ruined the original experience.
Right.
It's
Usually I
like
like
when
the
George
original.
Lucas decided to make it that Han, didn't
God.
shoot first. It was a better version of it. Yeah, right. No, I'm sorry.
Excuse me.
So your audience that would be listening and would care, and if you actually want to know, I did research on this. The only way to get a original Star Wars trilogy with THX surround sound and widescreen format without all the garbage that they added in is on Laserdisc.
Yeah.
Good
or
luck.
VHS. I have the
No,
VHS.
no.
I have the VHS ones though.
Widescreen and
not widescreen.
THX.
No. Yeah, no.
So it was, those movies. It was just one of those stupid little nuances because I had the VHS as well.
Yeah.
But I didn't have widescreen because my buddy Mark, another Mark.
There's like 12 of them. It's a whole
See,
bunch.
like, why not take
Oh, I have a brother Mark,
the original
by the way.
versions and then
I have a brother Mark.
but why not take the original versions, like some cinematic versions, and clean those up and make the sound better and the pictures look better,
Because he'd do what he'd ended up doing with E.T., which is ripping out guns and putting in walkie-talkies so it'd be family friendly. But if the
add more CGI and crap.
But there are certain things that'll be classic games. Like, could you imagine if someone retooled the way Super Mario Brothers played?
You can't.
Oh well, he jumps smoother now. Well,
tried.
It would it would ruin it.
Yeah, but I
Right.
liked when he didn't jump smoothly.
There's a reason Asteroids is still a fun game. It's black and white vector graphics. And you could put a quarter in there and you could last 2 minutes and be, just laugh and have fun. Or you could really, if you're really bored, you could put a quarter in there and play it really safe and last an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was the most basic, 4-bit, 8-bit
Yeah.
sound and graphics. It was terrible by today's standards. But it's a fun game to play.
But see, I don't think it's terrible. Mainly because, like I said, it was the birth of something. I feel fortunate to see the birth of something and have it morph into what it is. But like you said, like graphics-wise and like, technology-wise, they would consider it. But I mean, that's where it started. So it's never terrible.
No, but
It's
the
where it
graphics are
began.
terrible compared to today's graphics.
Absolutely.
But you can't change them because...
No, but I think it's
Right.
a beautiful thing though what they've done with it though.
Like
I said,
I borrowed a friend of mine's N64 the other day, and I haven't played that in I can't even remember the last time I played it 64. But I plugged it into my TV, and I was like, wow, these graphics are really bad.
Yeah, GoldenEye
Yeah.
is terrible. But you know what? It wasn't about the graphics. It was about how playable the
Right.
game was.
and how
Absolutely.
much fun you had. It was about the fun, and that's
Slappers and proximity mines.
Yeah. I had people, just like you used to come by for my Rock Band parties when I had N64. I was delivering pizza. Some of the other guys were working second shift. Everybody'd get to my house at 11. They'd have a case of Guinness in their hands, and we'd sit down, and 6 people would throw controllers around and play GoldenEye and just shoot each other
It's
for
the
hours.
best.
it's fun. It's just fun, and it's and the other thing too is and everything that we're talking about. You think about it. All of these experiences are memories from our lives, like from growing up, and you think of a game. Oh, I remember that time I was playing, with Phil, and that happened, or whatever. And you kind of associate, and I think of video games. I go back to when I used to go to the Methuen Mall when I was younger in the arcade and seeing. Like I said, I used to primarily go because I thought the boys were all cute, but then there were a few games that I liked to play.
Well, that brings it back to what I was saying earlier about Halo and other couch games, where it's like you can sit down and be in the same room as the friend of yours and both be enjoying the same game. It's why take that away? Why not just
social.
Make it so that I can play someone in China,
Yeah.
but I also want to be able to hang out with my friend in my same room and play a video game.
Well, yeah, it's person to person. It's some of that gets missed a lot of these days with certain things, and technology does have a tendency to take the organic side out of it. But it's still good to get together with friends and do things like that. But
Yep.
all right, I have a few more questions here. Well, not really questions, more trivia questions too. I'm going to throw them at you guys. So, all right, this is a super easy one. I would probably get this one. The name of Mario's brother.
Come
on.
Really?
Peach, right?
Come on,
Carl.
really? Luigi, come on.
All right. Yes. All right. Okay, here's one because you'll know this one because you mentioned this game. The name of the hero that rescues Zelda.
Link?
The name of the hero.
You say that as a question.
Wait, what did you say?
I'm just like, is this the question?
Yeah.
Link?
Link. Yeah.
I mean,
Show some confidence behind that.
I mean, I am confident for that answer.
Link, you are right.
I got to keep my mouth shut. I just had 300 hours invested, so...
Oh, right.
The last Zelda game I played was Twilight Princess.
God,
That was good.
it was fun.
That was
the one
serious
the
game?
Wii. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love the grappling hook.
Oh, nice.
It's great.
but
The
that
name-
was just... Now, as you go through that Zelda game, I mentioned it earlier, the new one, will top that, but you'll still love your Ocarina,
Yeah.
and you'll still love your original.
Right, because those games were beautiful in their own right. You know, I remember when Twilight Princess came out, there was talk of doing like a refurbish of Ocarina of Time to like with the Twilight graphics.
No.
So I don't know what this Twilight Princess is. What is it?
It's
Another chapter in
just
Zelda.
Chapter of Zelda.
Oh, it's
yeah.
just an. Oh, I see.
Yeah, and
I
there's
see.
not only one Link. There's like I don't know, 5 different Links. It's all like generations.
They definitely have some fun with it. They definitely try new things. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it's always a Zelda game.
like I didn't enjoy Majora's Mask that much.
I don't think anyone did.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was too weird to. It was like trying to be weird. You know what I mean? Just different and.
I think
strange.
Bridget wants to speak.
Didn't you take time out of work when the new Zelda came out?
well, yeah, it was around Christmas. I had some vacation I had to burn, so
Might as well.
So you
I sat
took some
down for 3 days
time
and just played Zelda.
I think I remember
It was
that.
like 48 hours straight, just Zelda.
You didn't even shower or go to bed. You just stay there.
No, I never shower. I never go.
Oh, that's good.
That's not it.
There's
But
nothing-
no, I mean, but you know, Zelda came out. I sat down. I had my first day off, and I started up. And by the time I looked at the clock, it was 11:30 at night. And you
The
know
following
me,
week. Just kidding.
and I did that for 3 days straight. I just sucked you in, and I knew it would happen. So, but it was end of year, burn a vacation,
But yeah, I
new
mean,
game comes
yeah,
in, perfect, everything aligned.
You just went.
Yeah.
with
It really sounded like perfect timing for everything. But that was
But
good.
even if it wasn't perfect timing, and I finally got a new Zelda game, I would have taken a couple of days out of work.
well, you don't take a
regardless.
lot of time out anyway, so you probably have plenty of time to. You work hard. You used to travel a lot too.
Used to.
Yeah. All right, this one. The name of Sonic's sidekick. I repeat, the name of Sonic's
Tails.
sidekick.
Yeah.
Or sorry, Miles.
No, actually, you were right in the first try.
Well,
Tails.
his real name
Tails.
is Miles.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Was it
Yep.
in the show or in the game?
Well, in the comic or show or whatever, yeah. So, Miles.
I only ever played the first game, and you know what's so there's a great game, right? I never played Sonic the Hedgehog all the way through.
No.
It was really interesting to
I've ever-
play and zip around really fast. And
Right.
it was fun, and I'd still don't mind putting a quarter in a game and doing that kind of
Sure.
but never enticed me to finish the game.
Because it's all like, oh yeah, look at this. They're in the neck here. This, yeah.
But it had, it had some really cool gadgetry, really flashy imagery. You moved
Yeah.
really fast. It got you excited. They had a lot of the mechanics in there, but they were just missing something. And I don't know if I had to compare it to a slow-moving Mario. Mario moves slow through almost every level you've ever played in.
Yeah, he wasn't very fast.
But it's very rewarding to play a Mario game. Always has been. I mean, everybody since 1987 who's had a NES at home,
Yeah.
or any version of Nintendo since then, has played Mario, and people strive to finish it.
Yeah, I mean, I always did like Mario. I always did. And an old friend, she would always get, like her and her husband always get the gaming system. So they went through it. They had everything. Every new system that came out, they would get it. So that's kind of was my exposure, was through friends. And I mean, like I said, I played Mario a lot and the Mario Party and things like that. And it was always fun because I didn't have it at home. Bridget wants to speak again.
I'll just interject again. Yeah, so back in the 80s and 90s when we had ColecoVision and Sega,
Sega.
those were the systems we had. But I grew up with 6 siblings. So when it came to video game time, my mother would set the timer.
Oh, jeez.
And each one of us would get, 20 minutes a turn.
So what if you were in the middle of a level?
There was no save back then either, so
Right.
Yeah.
But you figure
That's
in a
horrible.
household with so many kids, with one gaming system.
Not good. Not
Yep,
good
so
odds
that
at
was
all.
her. And of course, my younger brothers would be like, "Oh, but I almost had it. Just 5 more minutes." And
But it's repetition, it's practice. I don't, they get all mad because it was probably because it was on the television. But don't you want somebody that if you're raising your kids, don't you want them to practice things till they succeed? But in video games, that's a bad thing because you could do it for hours.
Right.
But
Right.
again, like I said, that video that I saw, it does have positive effects on the brain. So
Not if you're asking my mother.
On mine.
yeah, oh my God, your mother's a trip.
That's a different show.
That's a whole
No,
other show. That might be a series.
No.
Reel it back in.
We may have, that might be like a three-part series. We'll put your mother, both our mother's name are Ursula. My mother's name is Ursula.
Really?
His mother's name is
Huh.
Ursula. And actually, I don't think I ever told you, but my father's name is Phil.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you never told me that.
No, I said that the other day to Mom. I said, I don't think I've ever told Phil that That was my dad's name. But yeah, good name. But yeah, so the two Ursulas, and I don't think my mother's ever met an Ursula until his mother. When he told me that, I was like, "Are you serious?" My mother's name's. I was like, "Wow."
Tell my daughter that she's obsessed with Little Mermaid now. So.
Oh yeah, because of the sea witch. Yep, I remember that Ursula. But you know, I don't always. I don't even think my mother's actually even seen that movie, the Little Mermaid. I think I saw it like once back in the day. They probably made a video game with the Little Mermaid, did they?
Probably.
Oh my gosh, Ariel and
They make a video game about everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem with a lot of the quality.
Too much of the saturation of every
Right.
idea getting into the mainstream.
Well, I mean, there's a video game now called Goat Simulator. I mean,
It's-
really,
goat.
you're
Like
a goat.
It's a free game.
That's not a goat noise. I don't know what that was.
But I mean, the quality of games is not always good. So I mean, just to release a game to coincide with a movie, yes, you will generate some revenue, but there came a time when I would buy any LucasArts game back in the 90s. They were really doing well with their games.
What about the ones that they made out of TV shows? Didn't they have like one for The Simpsons?
Yeah, and some of those were good in the arcade games,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Like
great.
the
Was it
Turtles game
arcade?
that you
Okay.
loved in the arcade.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
But,
I just
They've
remember
made some
seeing-
really bad home console versions of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that really, I mean,
ruined it.
well, you get a little sour after you buy the 16th Disney movie video game that sucks.
Aladdin was
Yeah.
a good game, though. I will say that.
Oh, I never played the game, but I loved the movie.
They were back in the day where you like you said, there was no saves, so like you were given a code. So
Yeah,
like if
that
you
didn't
put
work.
the code in, you would get back to that level. So it's just like
If you wrote it down right, because nobody could really read the ones and
right,
O's,
It's
or
like,
was
what,
that an
the
L?
7? Like what is this? Yeah, or Mega Man X. That was probably one of my favorite Super Nintendo games. Oh,
Those just got released on the Switch then.
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
might be a
it's
reason to buy one.
fantastic. I might.
I love how you guys kind of clicked with the whole. We have to just have you guys back and call it the Phil and Gabs, hour.
We just bring in our system.
Today
and
on
just
the
play
Lily
games.
Pad podcast, it's Phil
Shut
and
up!
Gabs.
I'm finishing
Go.
a level.
Yeah. Shut up.
Yeah, well, I'll get a TV. I'll put it right in there, and
I have a projector. I can just bring that.
Oh, dude, we can totally do that. How can we do? See, this is what happens when
See,
I hear.
then you could duplicate the screen, and you could have one on that, so then it could be like a YouTube kind of a thing at the same time.
dude,
Yeah,
you know
but then
what?
all you would hear is like little clicks like
Yeah,
that of the
yeah,
buttons, and then you'd hear shit.
That's good. Oh my god!
If we're playing a shooter, God damn it!
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Screen watching.
Oh, that was good. But yeah, no, I mean, you could do that and make it. We could put the projector over there, and get that. But the
Do you
YouTube
want to
thing
talk
with
to us, or do you want to watch us play games?
we can. It'll be all interactive. I'll have the camera set up. It'll be YouTube, so it'll
Phil,
be
what are
audio,
you feeling
video,
right
and
now?
video.
Yeah, but all right.
We'll do a podcast while
but you
you're
know
playing.
what? That's a whole thing, right? So you're setting up this social thing around it, right? Podcast or not, everybody come over. We'll do this thing. We'll broadcast on the wall. That's a specific type of game as well, right? So if you're
Right.
trying to set
Yeah.
up a party game, we've been talking about these games that we get invested in for hours, right?
Yeah,
There are other games that you can put on where it's simple little games that anybody can play.
like those.
Burnout.
Yeah, yeah.
What about Crazy Taxi? I love that game.
Same concept, right? But Crazy Taxi, you've got a goal and you got to learn how to
Yeah.
do things.
Yeah.
Simple games. They're great party games, and I've been known to have people over once in a while, and
Yes, you
usually
have.
leave the system running so people can play whatever.
Oh yeah.
But if you play, something like Burnout, non-video game players can watch that, and if they're told all you have to do is hit A to accelerate,
Right.
that's it. And then your
Yeah.
goal is within 13 seconds to crash into as many cars on the.
I love Burnout.
Yeah.
I do. That's the destroying ones. I would be here like that playing.
But that would be a great party game, because then you know what? You can still be talking to three people, and we
should
could be
do it.
watching that.
Would you come back for a party game?
No.
Anytime.
I'll totally do it.
No.
I know you will. You will totally. Yes, you will. If I have to go
You
to
can lead the
Salem,
charge.
It's such a long drive.
I know it is a long drive. But yeah, no, I could totally
4
do that.
miles.
We can, we can.
Long enough.
we'll get it set up. We'll set it up. I can do it. We can make it
It'd
happen.
be fun.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
You got questions?
Oh no, we've kind of gone through all of the notes. I only get a little gibberish. I just knew I wanted to have some bullet points to go over and let it kind of take a life of its own. But,
Oh,
oh, Bridget, Bridget, would you like to speak again?
I would.
Go.
So I live with Mark, obviously.
You did say that. Yes.
And
Everyone
he
wondered
plays,
why.
He plays a lot of video
yeah.
games. So it's
the
interesting
jury's still out on
because
that one.
Because when I first moved in with him and he would play online with other people, I would be in the kitchen doing one thing and he'd be in the living room playing, and I would think he was constantly talking to me. So I would hear him talk, and I would go in the living room and say, "What?" And he would have his headset on and say, "Oh, no, I talk to the players." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So after a few times of that, I kind of blocked him out.
Now she just does it all the time.
So
because
now
it's
I
probably the best
totally
thing to do
block
as a
him
whole.
out, and sometimes
Yeah.
he's really talking to me, but I have no idea.
Yeah.
Because
The side effects
I
of
kind of
dating.
mute him
Yeah.
out.
Well, I go over there. Usually I see you guys at least once a weekend, whether it's a Friday night or a Saturday or whatever. And like I said, I'll come over, and sometimes we'll be planning dinner, and I'm like, "What's going on?" She goes, "Well, Gabs is in the living room." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." So we'll sit at the island in the kitchen. We'll just do our thing, and I'm like, and you might be quiet for a little bit. I'm like, "So should we go ask him what he wants to do for dinner?" Because if he's in the middle of a thing, let's not
In the middle
mess
of a
with him in the
battle
middle of a
or a
battle.
raid.
So but then we can kind of tell.
They go in and they watch me like kicking a can down the road. They're like, "Yeah, we can."
All right,
to
we
him."
can talk to him, or depending on what he's saying, because now I kind of
Yeah, the tone of
Well, you
his
know what?
voice.
I
I've
just
become
wear the
accustomed
headset
to-
really just so I can crank the volume up and I can get immersed in the
Yeah.
game. Not so. Otherwise, I'd be cranking the TV all
Well,
the
the
time.
thing is, you used to do that, but you don't have carpets in your house, so his house, it echoes everywhere. So the
which
headset.
is great for like a reverb effect on a shotgun.
Oh my god, it's amazing. Yeah, it's very loud in there sometimes, but yeah, the headsets definitely help out with that. Because there were times where she and I were downstairs to just sit on the couch because it's too loud upstairs. Because I mean, his TV is like the size of my wall.
when they go into battle. And
Remember that giant Millennium Falcon I showed you?
Yeah.
It's his.
Nice.
I took a picture. I'm like, I gotta show Phil. He'll like this. He'll appreciate it.
And it took you how long to build
A
that?
year.
Oh, the Lego.
No.
No.
No, it's
It
a
was-
model. An actual
Model.
model.
It was
Nice.
a custom high-end model
Wow.
with like a Rector set parts and 100% perfect precision.
Oh, that's
fits.
fantastic.
It's gorgeous.
But
The
it-
picture didn't do it any justice.
It was definitely something that took some time.
Yeah, yeah. But so that being said, I am going to wrap it up. I thank you all for coming today. This
Sure.
was actually a lot of fun. I'm really glad. I can't wait to actually listen to some of this back.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I would love to do some sort of party game thing. Like
Yeah.
we'll have to talk about that, and we'll talk about that, and then we'll all whatever. But
That
Gabs,
sounds
thank
like
you.
Mario Party is the easy one.
I think
really
it would be the
Or
easy one. I would totally.
One of those stupid
Rock
Mario
Band.
fighting
Rock
games.
Band's always fun.
Rock
Oh,
Band's fun, but that has to be loud.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why
but if
not?
we're down here,
It has to be loud.
I'll ship my mother out.
no, there won't be a podcast. You'll just hear song after song and think you're
Yeah,
in a concert.
I won't even talk about like, okay, we're going to be playing this right now, and I'll be back in an hour, and just let it record everything.
I mean, I probably wouldn't want to like, film us doing that. At that
Yeah,
point,
I definitely. Well, that was
Throw
one
a
of the
camera
things.
in the back.
I want to get
yeah.
a couple of cameras because I eventually want it to be
Yeah.
video and audio. Whoops. Oh, that's going to make.
Yeah,
a
but then
lot
I'll
of
actually have
noise.
to wear pants.
Yeah,
Who said
I wasn't
that?
going to say anything, but But again, thank you for coming over.
Just be Kyle Gass.
Bridget, where are you going? You can't leave yet.
Oh no, I was looking at
Jet.
the candy bowl.
Oh yeah, I meant to tell you guys. I got a little cauldron.
It kinda
with some
drew me
candy and
in.
Bubble gum. It's got peanut butter cups. Those I know you
Yeah, but
like.
you know
yeah.
what? How much do you freaking think this is going to sound awesome to your
Oh, it's
podcast?
on the
Well,
list. Look at it. It's
you
like
know.
going off the charts
But
there.
you know what? Anybody who's ever opened a peanut butter cup knows exactly where I am right now, and they'll know this
There's
sound.
peanut butter cups.
Yeah, it's a little melted though. Yeah,
The wax.
there is an Instagram page. Not even kidding. That focuses on the sound of people eating and they intensify it. I've actually followed it because I'm addicted to watching it. It's just what you're doing when they are like right there, and it's and they have like that. It's spiking crazy right now. I
It's either
can't wait
eating a
to.
Reese's peanut butter cup or
Yeah,
It's really good.
you see, look at that. It's
Wait,
all
can
it's
I
all
do that
purple. It's
too?
all solid right there. It's solid. But yeah. So thank you guys. I'm going to wrap it up, like I said, and we'll have another one of these video games.
Bridget's having a piece of gum.
Just having a piece of gum.
You know,
It's
if you're going to
double
do another
bubble.
video game one,
Yeah,
suggestion, go through the history of video games.
I want to
And-
do more of the kind of like more of the in depth. This one I wanted to be kind of like a light, fun conversation, but this is a topic that can be discussed in.
Nah,
Like
there's
more-
books written
Or
about it, but
segments.
Yeah.
getting people's opinions about everything that happened from like the
Absolutely.
first couple of games and how the guy got screwed out of all his royalties through Atari's failures and successes. and Nintendo, and there's been ups and downs all through the years.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do it decade by decade if you really want to get nerdy.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind making this kind of like a multi-episode type of a topic because,
Sure.
I mean, it's awesome. So, like, you're always welcome,
always
Phil.
down.
I'm always, yeah, absolutely. That would be great. So,
I'd
thanks
like
again,
to see
you
what
guys.
a younger person's perspective would be.
Well, we were
'cause-
going to have another person here, but he ended up having a commitment he couldn't get out of. But he was what, in his 20s? Early
Yeah.
20s?
Yeah, because I always picture people in
Yeah.
their early 20s have an attention span of 10-second YouTube videos.
No, oh.
Well, no,
Maybe-
it's...
No, but I know what you mean, though. There's a lot of...
Even myself, I have a shorter attention span now, right? So those
Yeah.
6-hour games just... I don't see it.
Yeah.
Well,
Candy Crush is not the same thing as Legend of
Candy
Zelda.
Crush.
I think the last game I really like, not to like jump back into it again, but the last game I really like spent most of my time on was Skyrim. Like that game took over my life for like months.
Yeah. I just bought that. I'm not going to play it like I wouldn't play Warcraft.
Oh man,
Maybe I've matured. I'm not going to...
I doubt that.
it's
But on that
such a
note-
beautiful game.
On that note, thank you very much, you guys. This is awesome, and we'll be seeing you on the Lily Pad.